Hello, vintage genre fiction fans. Welcome to the Book Graveyard. This is our Christmas episode. We have a Christmas special episode here. We've got this delicious chocolate mint coffee. Festive. We're gonna be talking Christmas stories here. We got these two books. They are both murder mystery anthologies. Not holding it very well, but you know what? We can pop them up on screen there real fast. We have Murder for Christmas, edited by Thomas Godfrey. This was released in 1982 by Mysterious Press. And then we have The 12 Crimes of Christmas. I believe this one is available somewhere online. You can read the whole PDF. This was put together by Carol Lynn Russell, Martin Harry Greenberg, and Isaac Asimov. It is from the year 1981. So we're going to do one story out of each one. I was going to do more, but I ran out of time. And then we're also going to be talking this here, my favorite non-family Christmas movie, Black Christmas. If you've never heard of this, it's a slasher, sort of. I guess it's the proto-slasher. We'll get into it. I think it's very groundbreaking and very important in the world of horror movies. So we're going to be talking a little bit of Black Christmas too. And you may have noticed I'm wearing a Krampus shirt right here. This was drawn by my man, Brian Brady. I printed it. For sale now on the Streetlight Printing website. Link down in description. And Brian Brady also drew. He was also the artist behind the Book Graveyard shirts. Also available on my website. Sorry, don't mean to commercialize Christmas, but what the hell? Let's get it in there. Alright, so to set the mood here, I thought I'd light this. We need a nice warm fire. We're gonna be talking Christmas stories. Let's light this fire here. We can get this lighter to work. There we go, here. And almost burned myself there. It's hot. That's nice. That's nice. Alright, so first up is Murder for Christmas. And we picked the Maigret story, of course we did. George Simenon's Inspector Maigret series, one of my favorite classic mystery series. And you know what? We're not really going to go into the author and all that. There's lots to go over. We're trying to make this short and sweet. So we are going to be talking about Maigret's Christmas. This was originally published in 1951. Alright, the story starts. It's a chilly Christmas morning. Jules Maigret, Inspector Maigret of the Paris Police Department. He's waking up, sleeping in on a rare day off, much to his disappointment. The man does not like days off. He likes to be at work. He likes to have a purpose. Joselina, be careful of the fire. Be careful of the fire. Cat's on fire. His doting wife, known as Madame Maigret in the stories, wants to bring him breakfast in bed. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like breakfast in bed, but he can't tell her. You know, she's just so sweet. It's a little melancholy around the Maigret apartment. Years ago, they lost a child, and so they're childless. They're an older couple. They're childless. And, you know, Madame Maigret's looking out the window, and the kids are coming outside, and it's a very somber moment. While looking out the window, Madame Maigret sees two women crossing the street, and she recognizes them as two ladies who live at the building across the street. One who she thinks has a crush on Maigret, on her husband. That's an older woman, and she's very amused by this, and she likes to tease him. The women knock on the door. One is very excited to see Maigret in person, and the other is very apprehensive. She's not thrilled to be there. Maigret is intrigued. So what do these two women want? So the excited older woman goes into this story. Madame Martin, I guess as they would say in Paris. Martin. So Madame Martin, the younger of the two, the apprehensive one, she has unenthusiastically adopted the daughter of her husband's brother. The little girl is bedridden with a broken leg. The older woman helps take care of her sometimes. And the little girl told the old woman that last night, in the middle of the night, the little girl woke up because there was a noise. And who's standing in her room but Santa Claus himself, man. Santa Claus is there. He's peeling up floorboards. And then he notices that the little girl is watching him. So he walks over to her, hands her this expensive doll, this gift, this doll. Then he makes the international sign for silence. He gives her the shh, don't tell anybody. This is most curious, Maigret thinks. Looks like he won't be pacing the apartment like a caged lion today. And here we begin the usual Inspector Maigret investigation. We have the gradual discovery of the players and the suspects. Let's start with Madame Martin's husband. He's out of town working on Christmas. Why wouldn't he be home with his family on Christmas? Man, that's kind of odd. Where's the father of the little girl? How did this little girl come to be in their possession? Well, unfortunately, he's a hopeless drunk. But you know what? Maybe this is something that he would do in a desperate kind of drunk way. Be like, I'm going to surprise my daughter. He comes into her room at night all hammered to give her a present. That could possibly be it. Well, wouldn't the little girl recognize her own dad? Unless it's a really good costume. And then, of course, we have the shadiest of all, Madame Martin. Madame Martin herself. Why is she so apprehensive? What's with her attitude problem? What's her backstory? We need to look further into her. And honestly, maybe it isn't even any of these clowns. Maybe it's someone that lived in the apartment before. We need to look into who owned this apartment before the Martins moved in. Maybe it was some criminal syndicate that hid money. And so they're back looking, peeling up floorboards. That could be it too. So for a quick minute, I thought this was going to be some cutesy little family Christmas thing. We're saying it turns out that it was ambiguous that, oh, she saw the real Santa Claus. But thankfully, Simenon delivers on his Simenon-ness. This thing is bleak and bitter. There's murder. There's thievery. There's porn distributors. Yes, porn distributors in this Christmas story. And we have nefarious villains. It's your typical Maigret. And it was a pleasure to read, and it had the Christmas feels to it too. Does it have a happy ending? Does it relate to the beginning? Does something happen that relates to the beginning? So it all circles around? You know it does. Maigret never disappoints. Five Maigrets, five pipes, 5 sad Christmas mornings with happy endings, 5 of them.
This holiday is yours, but we all share with you the hope that this day brings us closer to freedom and to harmony and to peace. No matter how different we appear, we're all the same in our struggle against the powers of evil and darkness. I hope that this day will always be a day of joy in which we can reconfirm our dedication and our courage, and more than anything else, our love for one another. This is the promise of the Tree of Life.
Second Christmas story. I hope you enjoyed that first one. We're still getting festive. We're still in the mood for some more Christmas tales. So we flipped over to this book here, The 12 Crimes of Christmas. And we are going to be talking Blind Man's Hood by John Dickson Carr, originally published in 1940. I have so many John Dickson Carr books, Carter Dickson books on my shelf, and I haven't gotten to them yet, much like many of the books on my shelf. And they have the greatest covers, and they look so interesting, and I know that he's highly regarded. And I was very excited to open this book and see his name there, and I said, that's the one I'm going to read. Let's see what this guy's all about. And I was not disappointed. The story stars a young couple, Muriel and Rodney Hunter. They're on their way out to a Christmas party. It's in England. I'm going to have to look at my notes here. And I can't wait to be judged on this pronunciation like you guys always do, my English pronunciations. The house is in the country of the Weald of Kent in southeast England. And the host is the Bannisters. The Bannisters have invited the Hunters out. The Hunters are a young couple in a festive Christmas mood. They stop off at the pub. They're wasted, singing carols, drinking cider. And they show up late to the Bannisters. They're a little bit late. They show up to the house, and there's lights on, and no one's around, and the door's wide open. So they're like, well, where the hell is everybody? They walk up to the door, Rodney bangs on it. Hello, hello, Hunters are here. No answer. So they're like, well, where is everybody? Should we just go in? And she's like, yeah, I'm freezing, dude. Get your ass in there. So they go inside. They're like, hello, hello, Bannisters. No one there. They see that the fire is lit. Rodney heads over there. Muriel is looking around. Like, what's going on here? A woman appears. She's young, kind of attractive. She's dressed very proper. And she is carrying a bundle of linen. She apologizes. She apologizes to the Hunters. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. I didn't know anybody was here. I should have greeted you at the door. And the Hunters are like, where's the Bannisters? Where's everybody? So the woman is like, oh, the Bannisters, everyone? They went to church. Rodney's like, everybody? Even the servants are at church? And she's like, yeah, man. Like, don't you know? For the past 60 years, anyone that has lived in this house vacates during these hours. Because this is when the murder occurred. And Rodney's like, what the hell are you talking about? And the woman laughs. And she goes, oh, I'm not a crazy person. And Rodney immediately is like, maybe this woman's a serial killer. Maybe if we look around this house, we're going to see the dead bodies of our friends, the Bannisters, laying all about the hallways, hanging over Bannisters. You like that? Just made it up. So the woman takes them, leads them into the library. She said, hey, I'm sorry. I'm going to offer you a drink. Have a seat around the fire. And when they walk into the room, as they're walking in, Rodney sees the curtains. They move a little bit. And he's like, what the hell's going on? What's behind this curtain? And she laughs again. And she's like, oh, you can go check it, but I guarantee you there won't be anyone back there. And at this point, Muriel, the wife, is creeped out. She's creeped out beyond belief. She looks straight at the woman. She's like, who the hell are you? What is going on? And here the woman launches into the murder story. And this is what John Dickson Carr is known for, is the locked room mysteries. We get the setup of a young couple who has moved into this old house, this 17th century house. And there seems to be a deadly love triangle, but all suspects are cleared with pure scientific evidence. It looks like an impossibility, and no one is ever tried for the murder of this woman who was found on the floor of her home with her head bashed in, and it looks like someone had lit her on fire afterwards. So a very bloody Christmas, John Dickson Carr. Rodney and Muriel are sitting there listening to the story, like, okay. And Rodney's like, but you said at the beginning of the story that this murder takes place in February. Why is everyone afraid to be here on Christmas Eve? And then she launches into the second story. 8 years after the original murder took place, the new homeowners are having a Christmas Eve party. They've invited all the big wigs in town. After the kids have gone to bed, they decide to play a game called Blind Man's Bluff, where you put a blind over your eyes. I don't know the game, but it reminded me of Marco Polo is what it sounds like. Just Marco Polo, not in the water, not in the pool. My hand, I almost burnt my hand. So the host of the party is sick of people cheating because the blinds aren't big enough, so he goes and gets a pillowcase. He's like, all right, the next person wears a pillowcase, no more cheating. And he sees this woman standing by the fire, this blue dress. And he's like, hey, it's your turn. And he walks over and he puts it on her. Once she has the pillowcase on her head, it says that she gets into this weird low crouch. And then she, in this jerky kind of way, starts moving directly towards this man. And he's kind of laughing, like, ha ha ha, everyone's having fun. But she's like honed in on him. So he can't get away because she can't see. He's supposed to just be able to move. And she seems to be following him. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to tell anymore. I think it's pretty obvious what's going on, but I'm not going to say it. I will say that this is one of the creepiest ghost stories I have ever read. I was hankering for the ghost story during Halloween. I was searching for them. Nothing was satiating that need. And I found it. I found it here on Christmas. The movements of the woman with the pillowcase over her head was described in such an unnatural way. It really reminded me of those Japanese horror movies from like the 90s, the 2000s, where they're like, the ghosts are like cricky cracky, but this was written in 1940. Needless to say, quite the horrific image in your head that it portrays. And what's cool is we still got that mystery. Like, what did happen? How did this woman end up with her head bashed in? It was a snowy night, and there was no footprints around the house, and no one was in the house when the police got there. The mystery is explained, of course, by the end. It's a very complex puzzle, but it makes sense once you know the ending. And yeah, I don't know. I was floored by this one. I was floored by it. This is probably one of the best short stories that I've ever read. Now I just hope that his other books can live up to it, because he set the bar high here for me. So we're gonna give it 5 bloody burnt corpses on the ground. 5 bloody burnt corpses on the ground up. Good job, John Dickson Carr.
Hello? Hello? Look, who is this?
Please stop. Oh, God, please help me.
What do you want? Why are you doing this?
Filthy Billy! I know you're doing this, Billy! You answer this, Billy!
Who are you? For God's sake, what are you doing?
I know what you did, Billy! Filthy
Alright, and
Billy!
then up last, we're going to do kind of quick. This is a book channel, not a movie channel. But I wanted to talk about Black Christmas here from 1974, directed by Bob Clark. It's a proto slasher. I think that it was the catalyst that would create the 80s slasher boom, 70s, 80s slasher boom. I kind of think of it like, if it was, I know I always associate everything with punk rock, but if it was punk rock, this is the Stooges, Halloween is the Ramones. So John Carpenter was a big fan of this movie, of Black Christmas. After it came out, he went up to the director, Bob Clark. He said, hey man, you should make Black Christmas 2. I want to know more. I love this movie. Bob Clark is like, nah man, I already did that. Did it and done, baby. But you know what? If you want to make it, you have my blessing. You can make Black Christmas 2, Mr. John Carpenter. So John Carpenter was like, well, you already made it. That was a good point. Why don't I make Halloween? It's another holiday murder, slasher, killer movie. And horror movie history was made. So for years I went without ever watching Black Christmas, because I was like, I don't want to watch no stupid horror Christmas movie with killer Santas, because that's what I thought it was. I think the only one that gets the free pass on the killer Santa is the originators, the EC comic Tales from the Crypt strip, where it's someone from the asylum, some maniac from the asylum escapes and he kills someone and he's dressed as Santa, and he shows up at this woman's door after she has murdered her husband, so she can't call the cops. It's really good. It's amazing. And then they, of course, made it for the TV show, too, in the 80s, which is also really good. But that's what I thought this was. I was like, I don't want to see another Killer Santa. Not that at all. That's not what Black Christmas is at all. Black Christmas is about it has so many classic horror tropes, but it was the first, so they're not tropes yet. So it starts in a sorority house, this group of girls partying on Christmas Eve. They got their boyfriends over and getting wasted. The queen of the house is Margot Kidder. She kills it in this part. She kills it. She's hilarious, and she's annihilated and crude, and she's a joy. She's a treasure to watch. So they're having a good time. We get the point of view of someone. So it's a point of view shot of someone coming up to the house, scrambling up the side of the house, and going inside. Then that's just kind of left. Later on in the night, after the dudes leave, there's a phone call. And our star, the sweater girl, I call her sweater girl because she got this cool sweater. She answers the phone, and it's like an obscene call. But it's not just a regular obscene call. Like, what are you wearing? It's crazy. It is so unsettling. It's such an unsettling call where this guy is like making two different voices. Like he's talking, like two people are talking to each other, but they're also incoherent and off the wall. It's and very offensive and scary. So she's freaked out. She hangs up. So that's the start. That's kind of the start of it, the plot, the catalyst that gets it going. And throughout the movie, the girls start to disappear. And they find out that there's another woman in town that's missing also. The dad arrives. The dad of the first missing girl arrives, and he's like, "Where's my daughter?" And they're like, "I don't know." The girls are like, "I don't know. Maybe she's partying with her boyfriend." They can't find her, so then they start looking for her. And then the town is looking for this missing girl. The police get involved, and the detective is John Saxon. So 2 thumbs up there. John Saxon's in it. And they keep getting the calls, and there's some shade thrown at some of the boyfriends, so you think that it might be one of them. It has lots of Christmas atmosphere, like carolers coming to the door. Boyfriends who have to dress as Santa, and they're like crude 70s cussing, and I don't know, it's just great. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. And that is it, my friends. That's our Merry Christmas from the book Graveyard. That's our video. And maybe I'll put another one out before the end of the year. I don't know. If not, I will see you later next year.